Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. I wasn't going to do this. It's just a small haul. I am waiting for another order to come in. Actually, 2 more orders to come in. And I said that I wasn't even going to show this one because this one is very simple. And I remember saying it's going to be this big ass box for these few items. And this is from Fenty. 60% off, I think, or close to it. And so I went ahead and ordered. Okay, this was inside the box. The box is now empty. And I only ordered ASMR. I didn't order ASMR, but we're doing ASMR with the wrapper. Taking out what's in the wrapper. Some more ASMR stuff for you. I ordered 3 more of the brow pencils. I used to use these, I used to go through these in about, I think like 3 or 4 months. Lately I've been going through it quicker, and I think because I'm doing my makeup like every day. And I opened up a backup and that left me with 2. And I'm like, is that going to be enough till the next 30%, 40%, 50% off sale? I didn't know, so I ordered 3 more. So that's what that is. The other thing that came in today, oh wow, let me hide all my address stuff. Please handle with care, do not drop, thank you. I am glad they put that there. We'll see, I have not opened it. This is from, this is the same type of box as the Fenty one. This is from, I'm trying to see where to cut it. And there's labels on all sides of the box. So I'm not gonna show you more of the box. This is from Natasha Denona, her sale that she had. I looked at this palette every once in a blue moon, and it's not a brand new palette, but I'm sure they just keep making them. And so this is inside the box. Why does it smell like perfume? Oh man. And this is the inside of the box. I don't remember having one before that had ND all over it. I do remember having Natasha Denona. Why does it smell perfumey? I have sensitive sinuses, y'all. I cannot. So we're taking this out of here. And what is in here? It was the Star bundle. The Star palette came out probably like 38 years ago. No, it didn't, but it's been a while. But it never appealed to me because, one, I hate the packaging. But the bundle, and I'm looking at the colors. One side is cool tone, one side is warm tone. I found a new appreciation for cool tone shadows, especially if I can smoke them out. This is the invoice. And especially if they lean neutral on me when I wear it. But this is the box for the Star palette. I hate it. I think it's for like a 3-year-old, and no shade. I know some people love, you know, the packaging, but they had a bundle, the Star palette and the mini Star palette. And it was like 50% off. And I text 2 of my buddies, like, talk me out of it because I know I can probably dupe the shades or whatever. And one of them was like, 50% off, I cannot talk you out of it. They were like, and it is a really good price. And I love her cream to matte formula. I love her cream to powder formula. I never even really had my eye on her Star palette. I think maybe like 15 years ago when I first tried one of her minis, I did not like the formula. And so I've learned since then that I really like the cream to powder and creamy matte formula. And so I look to see what formula is in it. And there's a dual chrome, a creamy matte, a metallic, a creamy matte, and a chroma crystal, which I used to hate, but I've learned to not hate them. Now I just borderline dislike. I've learned to work with them, so I don't mind them like I used to, because when I was newer to makeup, I was just like, what is this garbage? But I've learned a lot over the years. Even when I used to hate Pat McGrath Celestial shades, now they're okay. Even the Chunky Monkeys. The Chunky Monkeys still are not my favorite, but I've learned to work with them. And so I am okay with them, and the same for the chroma crystals. So it's a beautiful palette, but it never caught my eye. And this, I believe, is the dual chrome. And if so, this is a basic shift. We see this from every brand, that green to burgundy to purple flip. And that one is a dual chrome, and it's called Orion, or Orion, O-R-I-O-N. So this is a basic shift, but it does go with the palette, because a shadow like this, green, red, brown, burgundy shift, it'll go with, you know, almost any shade. And so I am excited about it. And now we're going to open the Star palette. It is one of the larger palettes. This is Biba. So just holding it up for a comparison. So it is a little bit longer. It's the same width as Biba, or on the edge. So it's a little bit longer. And there is a space in between the cool side and the warm side. So I think that's that extra space. But I just always hated the packaging. I was just like, who wants to start? But anyway, we're going to open it. So in here we have Chroma Crystal, Creamy Matte, Metallic, Creamy Matte, Dual Chrome. Orion is in here. You know what? Let me see. Some of these shades may overlap. Orion is in this one too. And this is a mini, so it does make sense if some of the shades are in here, even though I know some of her minis over like the last 10 years have not been the same shades that were in the larger palette. Atic, that's in here. Bella something. What is that? Yeah, Bellatrix. So that's in both of these. Earth is in both of these. So everyone in here. Cosmo. I'm looking at on the back. The names on the back. And Cosmo. So the question is, do I want to keep this one? Because all the shades are in a larger one. So I'm going to put this back in here. I'm not going to swatch this one because the shades are in here. And so I'm going to decide if I want to keep this just for a small little pickup palette. And, ooh, my only other Natasha mini is Xenon. Can y'all smell my brain thinking? So I think this would go. I think it would go. This makes me borderline ashy, and so does this one. But depending on how I blend it, like it may go with this center shade over here. This one and this one would go with this shade, this dual chrome. And of course the black goes with all of them. So I don't know. So we're going to close this back up and we're going to put this in here, and I'm going to decide if I'm going to keep this or not, because again, all the shades are in here. But we are going to open this up, even though it said please don't drop me or whatever. We're going to open it and see this. The PAO on her palettes are 24 months, which I love because I do use them for close to 2 years, some a little over 2 years, and then they start to turn, and usually it's the cream, the powders, or creamy mattes that start to turn. And so I like that her POA is longer because I do get to use them a lot longer. And this is made in Italy, as Alicia Archer would say. So this is the packaging. I don't like it. And every time I would see this, I'm like, it's like for a child. And even on the back, I just don't, and you can feel the edges of the stars. I mean, it's not the most horrible thing, but looking at this, to me, does not say adult makeup. It just doesn't. But we're going to open it up. Hopefully nothing, I'm hoping it this way. Hopefully nothing falls out. Everything looks intact. Sorry for the glare. Okay. Something did this 2 shades. This shade is here. So I will take my microfiber cloth and just wipe that off. But I have a feeling it'll be back once I close it again. And this shade here, the pan does not look like it's flat. I did press it and it is flat, but that shade is this right here. So we're just going to wipe that off. So everything is intact, which is great. We're going to do swatches on our forehead, which is great. This, and the reason I didn't get this back in the day, like when it first came out, number one, I didn't like the packaging. I was like, the packaging, when I see this, it doesn't entice me to pick it up. It's just like, but the colors though, and also because one side is cool tone, I was like, like, am I really going to use it? But knowing what I know now and how I've traveled through, you know, my makeup journey and the different types of looks I've been doing, I think these two will look the same on me. And that's always a pet peeve of mine when shades in a palette look similar to other shades in a palette. But this side did appeal to me. I don't know why. It's just pretty. But this side is pretty too. But it just, I just, I was just like, no, this isn't gonna do it. I didn't look to see like which from the mini there's shadows on both sides, because this is one side, this is the other side. So there's shadows on both sides. So they did space it out. So we're gonna do some swatches here. This one looks like it has marks in it, but it doesn't look like fingerprints. Looks like two little train marks, like right through that shadow there. But it is a beautiful palette. And then for 50% off, and then you get this one too, which I'll decide what to do with that. But it is pretty. And I was thinking, like, can I dupe this with other stuff in my collection? Probably. But then I know I like her formula. It just works for me. So it was just like, what am I going to do? So I'm actually going to go off of the names on the back of the box, so that way I won't have to flip this back and forth. And I'm going to keep this on here. When Leela, I kept Leela's on there as well, but that's where the shadow names are. But I'm glad now that the shadow names are in the palettes. And so this is Spectrum. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Let me make sure. Yeah. Okay, so this is Spectrum. This is a Chroma Crystal, which are more like toppers. This feels rough. And this is my first time ever dipping into it. So we have 9 and 9. Do we want to do 9 and 9? Yeah. So this is Spectrum. Do I want to do a cross? 3 rows across. Let's do that. So this is Spectrum. It's not going to fit. I already messed up my spacing. This is Spectrum. She cute. This one in the center is Earth. I already messed up my spacing, y'all. This is Earth. So we're going to do Earth Tiny. I mean, it's pretty. It looks more brown in here, and I think it's showing up lighter where you are than it is in person. In person, it looks really rich. And I don't want to make the swatch like too thick because we need to fit another shade. So that is a rich shade. Let me get out of it. This is creating a shadow, or something was creating a shadow. Over here is a shadow. So let's come over here. Those two look nice together. And this one here is Bellatrix. This one is a metallic. This shade is a creamy matte. So Bellatrix is a Trix. Bellatrix is just a metallic. So we're just going to put this right here. This is a nice, that's a look. I have on a full face of makeup, so keep that in mind with how these swatches are looking. We're going to come down here to Flesh. This sounds familiar, like I've seen it in another palette. And we're going to put Flesh over here. This is janky. Can I not go straight? So that is Flesh. Flesh is a cream to powder. That's a cream to powder. Blends into my skin tone. Orion, which is the dual chrome. And, oop. Okay, oop. Okay, chunks are coming off. So this is the shade. It's pretty though. Even though this is a basic shift, like now, it might have been revolutionary at the time, like when this palette first came out. I'm trying to pick up the chunk on my sponge tip, and it's just like traveling it across my microfiber cloth. It is a basic shift, but it is really pretty. And I know I have this in some of my lethal palettes too. And even in Jolene, I think it has something like this. So that's that one. And Gemma, this is a cream to powder, this shade. This is nice. And I know I like her formula, the cream to powder and creamy mask. That's a look too, y'all. This row is a look. This row is a look. This is just a blend out shade. But these two on the lid, or this on the lid, this outer corner, blend for under brow bone or something. But that is pretty. So now we're going to come down to this shade, which is Atria, which is a metallic. This is very pretty. And that blends into my skin tone too. Where is it? I can't even see it. Where is it on my face? So that is that shade. Like, I don't see it. The one in the center is Cream to Powder Titania. This shade. So far, each row is a look. So if you don't know what to do, do rows. It doesn't look that cool in the, well, yeah, it looks kind of cool in the pan, but it's showing up kind of greenish here. So I don't know if it's because of what it's over, because I do have a full face of stuff on, but I'm seeing like a greenish tint to it. This looks like something that would go with the Yucca palette or the Yucca palette, however you pronounce it. But this does not look like this. Even in person, this looks more brown. But also in person, this looks more chocolatey. So, okay, that sponge tip is done. So now we're going to go to the last one here. And this is Cosmo, which is a chroma crystal. And so we're going to swipe that. And we're going to swipe that. This is a chroma crystal. A chroma crystal is, my experience with them from being in the Metropolis palette was they were toppers. But this ain't a topper. That's an actual shade. This right here would be a look too. This one, and this one. Or this shade, and this shade. These three right here. This one, and this one. I am seeing quite a few looks already with this palette. Just the 9 shades on that one side. This eye is peering now. Why are you peering now? Now we're going to move over to the other side, the cool tone side, which was part of why I didn't get it. But the looks I've been doing lately that I do like, even though they're not my preference always, unless it's a cool tone palette and I can smoke it out, I'm like, yeah. Like Xenon, that's a cool tone, grayscale. And I'm like, that palette is bomb. So this shade right here, this is Diadem, and it's a creamy matte. And we're going to put that right here. And you see there's hardly any kick up in the pan from these shades. Which side is that on? Here we are. Where is it on my face? So that's that shade. That's pretty. And now we're going to move to the middle one. This is Vega. This is also a creamy matte. This is a nice palette. So thank you, ladies, for not talking me out of it. For 50% off, it's hard to talk out of it anyway, so I appreciate they didn't try much. This for me would be maybe buff out lower lash line, maybe brow bone, or inner tear duct, or to tone something else down, because that is a very light shade even for me. This is Galaxia, and this is a chroma crystal. So I really need, oh shit, you see that? I thought it was gonna fall out. That's why I was like, whoa. I'm pushing it back up and in. Damn. I thought that whole chunk was gonna fall out. So we, oh man. So we did press it back in. Oh shit. So we did press it back in. So I know, damn, this is soft. I was gonna say fragile, but it's soft. So trying to like scoop it, it's doing what it did the first time. So I have to be careful with it. But we did get some on here. We're not going to tap it off because the whole flake might come off. And so we're just going to put it here, just smear it, even though it's not on the same line as the other swatches. But that shocked me. That is that shade. And that is Galaxia or Galaxia, this shade here. And I would say this one being a chroma crystal, it is a topper, whereas this one says chroma crystal, but this one shows up. And what else was chroma crystal on this side? This one said chroma crystal. This one up here, but they show up as colors. This one, and maybe because, I don't know, because it doesn't look like it's really that light, but it does just blend in with this shade. So I'm going to take a clean side of the sponge tip, and we're going to go back into that same shade, Galaxia. And it's challenging picking it up because it wants to pick up, flake, and then fall back off. So we're going to take more of it and just smear it. And so you see how that is. And so I know I need to be careful with this shade, but it is just blending in. So maybe lay down this center shade and put this on top of it. It almost looks like it wants to be a dual chrome, because here it looks that shade and then it looks that shade. So this is probably what's showing up that's making it not look like it's showing up on my skin. So this one is very much just a topper because it's not showing up. The shimmer is, but other than that, it's not. So that sponge tip is done. So we're going to come down here. We're going to swatch these two next to each other because I want to see how close they are. And since I tapped this one by mistake, this is Electra. This is a creamy matte. So we want to take this one. See, all of these I can press and I'm putting pressure and they're not moving. This one, it was like, okay, we're going to fall out. You keep being aggressive with us. So this is Electra. So that's going to go here. That's Electra. And it's a creamy matte. And next to that, we're going to put Phoenix, which is also a creamy matte, because I want to see how close in tone they look. They feel a little dry, but it is a sponge tip. And this is my first time using it, so wherever it's been sitting, might factor into that. Because now that I'm doing it, it doesn't feel as dry. So this is Phoenix. Electra, Phoenix. This is a little more purple. You know what this is making me think of? What palette was that I swatched? And I'm like, I'm feeling some kind of way because they look the same. What swatch party was that? I don't even remember. I think it might have been some of the Pat Quince or something. Yeah, I think it was. And it was like, okay, one looked a little more purple, one is a little more burgundy-ish. But still, on my lid, are they going to look the same? You know what I'm saying? So now we're going to go into the middle shade, and this is Supernova. This says it's a dual chrome. Interesting. And so we're going to put this right here. My swatches, y'all, is looking crazy. I should have stuck the trying to do over my forehead, right? This is like a toned down version of this one. This is like a toned down version of this one. They might look good together. I think they will. But then I think they would blend in with each other. But these two, yeah, they are very similar and they look similar in the pan. But for 50% off, I'm alright with it. This shade down here is a Chroma Crystal, and this is Polaris. And this one is not really soft like this one. This one feels like that one, where I can just swipe it and it's not gouging out the shadow. That really surprised me. So what is this again? Polaris. Why does this look ashy right here? You see that? Is it the shadow or what? Because even here it looks ashy. What the hell's going on in my face? All right, let's get back to the swatches. Polaris. Why is that looking ashy? What the hell? So that's Polaris. It's not really showing up much. Maybe I'll use this for tear duct or brow arch, like just here to here, not all the way across like I did in this look up here. We're going to swipe this off because some did get over on the other side. So we're going to use that. We're going to go into, this is a creamy matte ATIK, A-T-I-K. This is a nice palette. This is another one that's blending into my skin tone, which makes them good for buffing out and blending out. But then it's like, how many skin tone shades do I need? You know what this is reminding me of? This is reminding me of Metropolis, and that was a complaint a lot of people had, was like some of the shades just look really similar. So we have this that blends in even though it's a shiny shade. This one which kind of blends in. This one blends in a way, but not, because it's a little more yellow. This one blends into that one, and this isn't much of a shade on me. This one, they're not there. This one blends in, so it's kind of like, these two look like they would be nice together. So that is this shade and this one. This shade is that one. This one is this shade. They look nice together. So this column, no, 1, 2, 3. This shade is this one. So 1, 2, 3 would be a look, and then use this to buff out or for outer corner or whatever. But I am seeing some looks. So we got one more shade to do. This is Rhea, and this is a metallic. So we're gonna swipe this one. And you can see the marks in it when I'm swiping it. Like they're not dry, but they're not flaky, and they're not super soft, but they're not dry and hard either. And it does pick up well. So we're gonna put that one over here, keeping with the funky swatches. I said in a few other videos, this is not a channel of perfection. So that's what that one looks like. This is a pretty shade too. Not too dark, not too rich, it's just there. So these are here. Each row, well, column can be a look. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And each row over here can be a look. And so I am liking that. And even doing diagonals, this can be a look. And put, well, that's not a, yeah. You can do this diagonal and put this. It's this shade. What is that one? This is a creamy matte. You can put this on your outer corner. Not that you need to put a matte on your outer corner, but you can do that. Or if you wanted a more ethereal look, go in this diagonal the other way. Am I getting my waves mixed up? But I am seeing quite a few looks just from this 9 pan on this side. And so when we come over here, I think these will show up similar on my lid. But the same thing, like each row looks like it can be a look. This is a look, that's a look, that's a look. And even doing columns, this can be a look. Now granted, this is supposed to be over here because I put it next to this to see how close they were. But this, and this, that can be a look. This shade, this one, and that one can be a look. So either side of this palette, you can do looks by rows, 3 shadow looks, 3 shadow looks by columns, 3 shadow looks by columns, and 3 shadow looks by rows. But I am going to do that for the most part, maybe, because it's hard for me to just use 3 shades for a look. But I think I am going to mix and match as well, because this shade right here, that'll go with these reds, those burgundy-ish tones, and some of these browns over here, and of course the ones that don't show up much, they'll go with some of these shades here. So we're going to see what we have. And so it seems like we have a colorful side, and then a they're not there kind of neutral side with 2 pops of similar looking burgundy/reds. And so if you want lighter ethereal, use these for liner. If you don't want them on the lid, if you don't want a dark look, you can do that. If you want to have some more color and a little more spice, that's what this side of the palette is for. And so I see what she did, and I like how she arranges her palettes where you can do rows, you can do columns, you can also mix and match if you have the creativity to do that. And you know, there's a method to, you know, how she does things. And I do like this palette just off of the swatches, just off of the colors, off of the formulas. This one I just need to remember is very soft, because that sucker, I was like, what the hell? Like, I was surprised that it just kind of gouged it. I'm trying to find a clean side to one of these sponge tips just to kind of clean up this little edge over here where some of it got away. So that is this palette. And you know what else I'm gonna do really quick? The 5 shades that are in here, that are also in here, I'm gonna swatch them on my forehead so that way you can see what the mini star would look like. And so let me see. We have Orion, which is this shade. This is Orion. And we only have 5, which means I can go wide, and I'm gonna need another sponge tip because this is only 4 sides. So that's Orion. And then we have Atik, this shade down here. And we're gonna put that there. This is a cute little quint, the star one. And then we have Bellatrix, this shade here. The first one we placed is a dual chrome. The second one is a creamy matte. This one is a metallic. This is a cute little quint. This is cute. And the next shade is Earth, which is a creamy matte. Earth is hiding from me. This is Earth right here. This is a nice little quint. Like seriously, look at this color story. Wow. Let me get a fresh sponge tip because all 4 sides of those are used. And the last one in the quint is Cosmo. And Cosmo is right here. And this is a chroma crystal. It flaked off and I don't know where it went. It chunked and it flaked like how this one did. It didn't do that before, did it? I don't even know. I see some on my clothes. Because it's a lighter shade, I guess it doesn't matter if it's on a carpet, and I do have makeup stains around my stool on the carpet. So I'm being a little more gentle now. Oh, geez. Cosmo Chroma Crystal. Oh, okay. Ow! The sponge tip scratched me. Ow! Fuck you. I'm turning you over to a different side. Shit fucking scratched me. Maybe I was being too aggressive and it might have just bent the sponge tip back because it is a metal piece that the sponge tip part sits on top of. That really fucking scratched me. That hurt. Yeah, okay. I will be gentle with you. I apologize. I don't know if y'all saw that, but another flake just jumped off. So, are all of these on the same side? Orion is on that side. Atix is on that side. Bellatrix this side. Earth this side. Cosmo this side. So the only one on this side is this shade down here. All the other 4 shadows in the 5 pan, which is a quint on, are on this side. So this is a cute quint. That thing really scratched me. I really cursed out the sponge tip like it has feelings and I can hurt them. So these are the quint shadows. So we have the dual chrome, we have a creamy matte, we have this one, I forget what it is, we have another creamy matte, and then this one, excuse me for the glare. So this is a pretty quint, y'all. Huh. So now I'm like, huh. So that's an idea as well for looks for this side, even though this one shade is also in the quint. And so even just looking at these shades up here. So we have this one, this, I want to say that, not sure. This, I believe. No. This one. Let me just stop because I'm confusing my damn self. But anyway, if you just want this quint, you can do a look with those over here. So yeah, I'm gonna go because I got flakes in places that they shouldn't be, and it's annoying me not knowing where they are when. I don't mind when stuff falls, but I try to track it so I know where to clean up. But them flakes is gone. So let me know what you think about the Star palette. If you got it, if you were thinking about getting it. Again, this side is these 9 shades. This side are these 9 shades. All of the quint shades are in the Star palette. And these are what's swatched on our forehead. Gorgeous quint, gorgeous colors. They're not there. These would probably be like my blend out shades or buff out shades if I need one or like one. But I do think I would have been satisfied with just this, to be honest with you. But these come in handy too. The they're not there shade, blend out, buff out, put something over it to layer it or whatever. These two are very close. This one blends into that one. So it's like, why are both of you here and why are both of you there? Even though this has a shimmer. This is a very, very pretty quint. I'm looking at it like, why did I never get that before? But I have it now, but I have it over here. And with this one, let me know what you think. I'm going to go. Thank you for being here for this impromptu swatch party. And when my other palette comes in, we'll do another swatch party. That's also not a new palette. I had my eye on it and then the cell popped up. So I'm like, And my Notoriously Morbid whenever that gets here, we will do a swatch party, and I will wait for all 3 of those palettes to get here. I want to do live, but I'm concerned about the quality of how it'll show up. So it might be a premiere. Not sure yet. So anyway, we're going to go. So let me know what you think about us painting the face. Let me know what you think about these 9 colors over here. Let me know what you think about these 9 colors over here. I do think this would appeal to a lot of people who like lighter ethereal looks, because you can even use these as eyeliner if you don't want to put them in the look like on your lid. This is a gorgeous little palette. And I am going to do a look with just these shades just to show y'all, if you do have the mini star, you know, what you can do with that. And I think that's going to end up somewhere. I don't think I'm going to keep this, but let me just end this video here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. If you made it this far, go ahead and click the like button. If you are not subscribed and you keep coming back, go ahead and click that button as well. Comments always welcome. Lots of information below, including referral links, affiliate links, non-affiliated links. If you want to join, you can click to see what the perks are for that and see if it's worth it to you. And that will really be it for this video. I really do appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you watching. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.